Okay, to avoid having to play DBD here and grow more gray hairs and rip my hair out at the same time, I'm going to do another gameplay what if. And the next what if that I've been thinking of is something from Metal Gear Solid 5. Because as much as the whole gaming industry praised the fuck out of that game, ugh, and how much I covered it with my sheer joy that I was getting another Metal Gear Solid game. As time goes on, you definitely do see the cracks of it, of the early prototype open world game aims that Hideo Kojima made. Because he only made one other game, and that was Death Stranding. That has an open world. But Metal Gear Solid 5 was kind of like the prototype in his like first steppings into an open world game. And credit where credit is due, Metal Gear Solid 5 does do a good job at it, but there could have been so much more in terms of the customization and freedoms. And one of those, in my opinion, that at least rank very highly. Well, no, there's a bunch of them. And I'll probably get to those if I have time and I feel like it, which I most likely will then. But one of those should have been more customization towards the outfits and the camouflage. Primarily these two big things. One being color customization for sneaking suits or just making camo esque sneaking suits. And adding armor of sorts to the like normal battle dress uniforms. And to talk about the first one with the sneaking suits are kind of overpowered in their own right, but they kind of lose their effectiveness entirely if you take it really slow. Because how the camouflage system works in Metal Gear Solid 5 is that, unlike the previous two games where it was based on a percentage system that was shown immediately, if you wear the right shit both for your face and your body, you could almost instantly get an 80, 90, almost a 99% camo index, which makes you practically invisible unless the fucker's literally stepping over you. But in Metal Gear Solid 5, they changed in that if it's a matching camo set for that environment, and sadly it's only for the body because they just couldn't bother to give Snake face camo. I don't know. But if it's like a matching outfit, like you're in Afghanistan and you use the desert BDU, what happens is that it cuts the visibility down by like 50% or something. So if you're crouching, it's nighttime, enemies might not see you up to 20 meters if you have them marked with binoculars, but as soon as you get within like 15 meters, they start to notice you. And it almost makes camouflage somewhat pointless or just something you shouldn't really focus on. And that's why I always go towards the sneaking suits. And that's where the problem arises, because if I'm right, the sneaking suit has no camouflage benefit at all because it only has one of two benefits. Or it has these two benefits. One, oh, it eliminates movement noise when crouch walking. And typically, if you get the Diamond Dog sneaking suit, oh, it gives you an increase in health regeneration. It says it gives you a damage resistance because of the special fibers in the suit, but I call fucking bullshit on that. Unless there's some data to back it up, I don't believe it. But beyond that, yeah, those are the only two benefits of using a sneaking suit. And this is where it's like a conundrum because if you're primarily walking, if you know the distance in terms of how much noise you make when walking up on an enemy in crouch mode, which, spoiler, it's 4 meters. So if you know that 4 meter threshold, there's really no reason in using the sneaking suit. And you're kind of just stuck there going, do I prioritize camouflage that may or may not be handy? Or do I use a sneaking suit that gives me one real benefit for its for what it's called, and the other one is just fucking shit. Because I'll be the one to say that the Diamond Dog sneaking suit, I kind of hate it. It feels rather bulky compared to the Ground Zero sneaking suit. I use that primarily all the time because I love the skin tight nature of it. And beyond that, I mean, it was just cheaper overall to use a BDU, especially if you were really penny pinching. Because if you did the FOB events back then when they were popular, you got a bunch of unique skin uniforms that when you develop them, they cost 1,000 GMP, but they're worth 0 GMP to deploy with. So if you want a cost-effective measure and you wanted to like really skimp out as much GMP as possible, you'd want to use like one of those BDUs. But beyond that, then there's just the normal BDUs. And again, like their only benefit is a camouflage in a certain area, but there's no other benefit to them. It's just a normal costume. And this is where I think a gameplay what if is in order. I wish there was either more customization options for the normal outfits or the sneaking suit. And how they could have done it with the sneaking suit is purely fucking simple. They could have increased the prices of it because, God forbid, it must cost so fucking much to paint a goddamn sneaking suit green or sandy or red or white or whatever. Diamond Dogs, again, they make wormhole technology, stealth camouflage, mechs, UAVs, God knows what fucking else with their vast infinite wealth of blood diamonds. But God forbid they can't afford to spray paint a fucking sneaking suit to match the environment. But it would have been nice if they would have done something like that for the sneaking suits to give them more of a benefit. Obviously, that means it would skew directly to you just using the sneaking suit or the camouflaged variant. That would be the only one that would win, even if it does have a slight increase to GMP usage. If it's only going to cost GMP, I'm sorry. It's not that hard to get GMP in Metal Gear Solid 5, especially if you're playing on PC and you have some mods installed. Fuck it, GMP is a no issue. But then let's go on to the other end of the spectrum, because there are some people that don't want to use sneaking suits. They want to use the normal outfits. And one way you can improve the normal outfits, because I think it could work, is that the stealth capabilities mainly come from the boots. If I remember from like a game demo before, shown at one of those conferences in the past, I think it was the TGS gameplay demo. The stealth shit comes from the boots. So how hard would it have been just to remove the boots and just slap on the sneaking boots? There you go. You have an increase in fucking stealth capabilities from crouch walking. I don't know. But beyond that, if it's not the stealth aspects, it would have been nice if the camouflaged aspects would have had some boosts as well. Apply the star system to that, because it would have been nice if Snake could have gotten some extra body armor. Like a bulletproof vest or some pads. Like something to actually show that he's a little bit extra armored, while also still having the ability to be a little bit stealthy with camouflage. It would have been like the extra protection in case if you get fucked over. You get an alert, you're being chased by the enemy. It'd be nice to have that little bit of extra armor to reduce the damage taken a little bit, because I just don't like the battle dress. I don't like the armored outfit because it looks too fucking bulky. So I never use it. I never did. There may have been one instance I used it during the farming segment for farming those parasites from the Code Talker mission, but I was just like, nah, I don't want to use the battle dress at all. So that would have been nice. And in terms of improving the stealth even more, they could have done a lot more, because I think, like, if you think back to Peace Walker, it was a lot more in depth because they gave you benefits for being naked. There's no benefit for being naked except for having even worse camouflage. Like, being naked in Peace Walker, yeah, it may cut your ammo in half or, cut your camouflage a little bit, but at least you have the ability to run faster. It'd be nice if in Peace Walker you could have ran faster or maybe made less noise while moving because you had like less equipment on you that would jiggle and all that shit. It just would have been nice if they would have put more thought into the camouflage system and the sneaking suit, especially compared to previous entries. Ugh. And going on from there, I mean, there's just a laundry list of shit. Between they could have implemented more vehicles. Like I'm fucking pissed they removed the battle gear because they thought, ooh, it would have like broken the balance of the game. Oh, so me having invisibility, um, a hand that can teleport enemies, infant suppressor durability, one-shot knockout gas pistols, and rocket launchers that could fool enemies. That's not broken at all. But a hovering tank is completely broken. Objection. Fucking hearsay. But yeah, there's a lot more shit they could add, and they could add in more customization for the vehicles, added more in general. Like, I don't understand why at all there's no fucking bike. Like, as much as I love riding the horse, I never use it past, trying to raise its bond with me, and all I do is rubber band the fucking controller. But as soon as I acquire, the fucking D-Dog, I never use the horse again. It kind of sucks. It would have been nice if there was some way to maneuver around the environment, but it was a little bit quicker, but not as armored. Like, there's pros and cons to using certain things. Like, a bike could have been programmed so well into it. Like, okay, you obviously have less seats to hold bodies or shit, and it has less armor, but you have more maneuverability of a bike. It just would have been nice if they could have implemented that. And from there, additions to Mother Base, because I think one thing that I find really sad is that, you can farm up these materials and you can have a section to hold your animals that you caught in the field, but you mean to tell me they can't afford to add an extra strut solely for growing plants? Like, I don't think it would have been that hard to have the ability to grow plants. Like, maybe it was a balancing issue because, you could be getting too much of one particular plant and sell it for easy GMP, but I mean, it just would have been nice if we would have had, like, that ability to construct a strut like that. And, I don't know, especially another thing, in terms of gameplay, it's more of me, being a little bit more broken, but I mean, in terms of, like, extra upgrades for Snake, he really is just a jack of all trades. Like, there's no reason to use any other soldier unless you want to have, like, a different look and, I guess, breathing sound. But it would be nice if there was more upgrades for Snake's arm besides, it's a carbon copy of every special ability that a soldier can get when you capture them. Because what I thought in my head, it would have been nice if a modder or a gameplay update would have found some way to take the pills and apply them to a bionic arm, but obviously add some caveats, Like, for example, there's that one ability or that one pill, Knocked for Sightem, I think, where it automatically marks enemies within, like, a certain range. It would have been nice if they could have applied that to the bionic arm, make it an expensive upgrade for starters, like 5 million fucking GMP, and a lot of that particular resource that was made for the pill. And from there, modified so maybe it's only half the range. Just half. 40 meters down to 20, and you gotta be standing still for a little bit. Obviously, it does sound a little bit broken, but I mean, I feel there'd be enough, restrictions on it and nerfs in addition to, the high price of it that it could ultimately, make it a rather interesting upgrade. It still wouldn't invalidate the other items. You could still use the pills if you want. Pills here! Pills! And you could still use D-Dog, because that's, like, the main benefit of using D-Dog. He has, like, 100-meter range of marking enemies, which is just completely fucking busted in terms of getting a step up on the enemies and knowing where they are. And from there, I don't know. It just would be nice if there was more for weapon customization as well, because I kind of find it hysterical that some guns can use rubber bullets and the rest can't. Or there's only literally two fucking handgun types that can use a tranquilizer round and the rest can't. I mean, thankfully, there are some mods on Nexus mods that do fix that. I know there's one mod that I've been using that just converts like the level 5 long barrel armor piercing 45 into a tranquilizer round. Heck, just to give the guy some credit, the guy's name is Shim Sham, and yeah, all it does is just convert the level 4 and 5 variants into a non-lethal one, because there was another mod that I downloaded that's called, it goes by the name of Guns by Gleekus, that that just converts a shit ton of weapons into non-lethal variants. And I kind of appreciate that because it made me realize that I wish there was a lot more weapons that can utilize different ammo types, which beyond non-lethal means, I wish, games gave you more options in terms of what ammo types you can use, because the only game that I remember that gave me that much freedom in terms of ammo types was Fallout New Vegas, and I always loved the idea of breaking down like normal surplus ammunition to make match grade ammo, so it has more range and stability, or making hollow point ammo so I can annihilate unarmored opponents. It'd be nice if there was some more shit like that, incendiary rounds, or um, match grade ammo. Because I mean, the range of ammunition is just baked into the guns. It's a bonus ability given to the gun based on its star level. It's really shit. It'd just be nice if that was like a separate function that you can choose to use with a particular gun. But unfortunately, I guess they couldn't add that into the Phantom Pain. It would have been a nice touch. And I don't know. I can go on all day, but I just really wanted to talk about like the main topic being oh fuck it, not main topic. There's a bunch of what ifs they could have done with Metal Gear Solid 5. Metal Gear Solid 5 was one of those games that could have been so much better had it not been fucked over by Konami, which is kind of sad because it could have been the game as a send off for the Metal Gear saga, but all it did was either break your heart or give you a fucking middle finger. But even then, I mean, once you get some mods installed for PC, it's a good game. And fuck, even without the mods, nowadays it goes on sale for as low as like $5, $7. And I'd say for that, it's not that bad of a price. But I do feel there could have been some more gameplay additions. And just because I thought this at the last minute, I guess one final thing I could touch upon is the buddy system. Yeah, it would have been nice if we could have just brought in our normal soldiers. Like, beyond bringing in D-Dog, Quiet, D-Walker, and D-Horse. Lots of fucking Ds. How about our actual D soldiers, our D dogs, our actual fucking people we recruited? God knows what type of shit you could have done with just an AI soldier backing you up. Because it's like, on the top of my head, you can make them do so much shit that can help you out. Especially you could have like a full 4-man team, you and 3 other men. You could have done so much shit, in the vein of like the co-op mode from Peace Walker. With the AI, you could have had them do so much shit, kind of similar like maybe SOCOM back in the PS2 days. You could have had them going around the whole map, knocking enemies out and faulting them out, or maybe causing a distraction one area of the map so you could focus on another one, or maybe have them mark the enemy so you don't have to, or provide cover support similar to Quiet, and just a bunch of other shit. And in terms of customization, you could have had them like geared towards different situations. You can change their armor so that maybe like we got pro-con situation. Like if you give them too much armor, they'll be a little bit slower, but they could tank more hits. Or if you give them stealth items, maybe they won't have as much ammo or capacities on them, but they could be very quiet and stealthy and avoid the enemy. There could have been a lot of extra layers of gameplay if there was the ability to give your soldiers a time of day in the game, as opposed to, oh, you get to fucking salute them and beat the crap out of them at Mother Base. But yeah, that's just me. It's just the hopes and dreams of a lowly, lonely gamer that just thinks to himself, man, what these games could have been if maybe given an unlimited budget and unlimited ideas. Because Metal Gear Solid 5 is definitely one of those games that I wish could just get a bunch of new features added, and especially some of the shit that was removed. Especially that whole idea of there being user-generated content, like user-generated side ops. That would have been fucking awesome. I mean, thankfully, once again, the modding community kind of like fixes that up a little bit. But I mean, having something that would have been like widely used by the community on all platforms would have been fucking sick. Even if, there would have been the potential of like broken missions, similar to like what happened with Odyssey. But yeah, I mean, what could have been? What could have been? But yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. Try and get another video out of the way. Talk more about Metal Gear Solid. Maybe I'll talk more about it in the future. It's like one of my favorite games of all time. But yeah, that's another, well, the second installment to Gaming What Ifs. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, hopefully subscribe, please. And hope you guys enjoy your day. Catch you on the flippy flop. Ta-ta.
If you like our content, please like and subscribe. See you later.